Welcome, dearest patrons and poltergeists, to Chateau Macabre, a gay horror podcast where we give our hot takes, gay brain theories, and initial reactions, keeping it cool, creepy, and camp with original topics that never fail to please.
Yes, welcome back to our show. I'm Robert.
And I'm Kyle.
And welcome back to Chateau Macabre, our show where we're going to give you some horror news updates, some announcements on new horror movies, new horror events, recommendations, and some spooky discussions about our favorite movies and characters. Thank you for joining us. Here at Chateau Macabre, we like to think of this as our weekly Halloween party, and every Halloween party needs a good cocktail. So this creepy cocktail of the week is this pumpkin spice espresso martini.
Looks delicious.
Yes, I may or may not have chosen this just so we could make some Sabrina Carpenter jokes.
Oh my god.
But yeah, what makes it like a spooky cocktail is that I added these little marshmallow ghost peeps in them.
They're so cute.
They are. But yeah, we're going to taste this and tell you whether or not you should serve it at your next Halloween party.
Cheers.
So, cheers. Thoughts?
I would dissolve the marshmallow in here for like the more sugar, you know? But it's really good.
It is.
Like mine doesn't have the extra kick of vodka and
Right. Kyle is drinking a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
So he's basically just drinking a pumpkin spice latte.
I am not mad about.
Yeah.
But
Also, this is your first time eating a peep.
it is.
What are your thoughts?
I love it. You know what? I expected it to smell like artificial, extra like florals and all that, but no, this is good.
I like it. Mine, I mean, you can definitely taste like the pumpkin. Oh, right. I should probably give the ingredients, huh? It's espresso, vodka, Kahlua, some creamer, pumpkin puree, and pumpkin spice. And you can definitely taste the pumpkin and the pumpkin spice. So that's very nice. Now that we've had our liquor, let's get into some horror news updates. Kyle, do you want to start?
Yeah, let's kick it off with a new movie. So we have a first look image at Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. So just some backstory here. It's expecting to be released this Halloween, and it's created by the filmmakers behind Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and they have a whole Poohniverse.
Poohniverse, yes.
With like Bambi, Pinocchio, and then this Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. So a little bit on the storyline for Peter Pan's Nightmare. It follows Wendy Darling as she strikes out in an attempt to rescue her brother Michael from the clutches of the evil Peter Pan. Along the way, she meets Tinkerbell, Twinkerbell. No, I'm kidding. I wish. Who, in this twisted version of the story, will be seen taking heroin, convinced that it's pixie dust. Okay. And then some cast here includes Megan Placido as Wendy, Kit Green as Tinkerbell, Peter DeSouza is Michael, and Charity Case from RuPaul's Drag Race is James.
What? Why, girl, what are you doing here?
The casting is just,
it's all
over the place. And then Martin Portlock will be playing the twisted version of Peter Pan. So I think in the Poohniverse, one thing that I'm starting to notice is that they take childhood stories and twist them and make the main character evil. Right?
Well, okay, not only that, but it's specifically like Disney, like Disney stories. Not that Disney invented Peter Pan or Winnie the Pooh or whatever, but like that's what they're going for, you know, like twisted like Disney specific stories. We saw we saw the first Winnie the Pooh.
We saw Blood and Honey. We had to pay for that despite having a Regal membership.
Yeah.
So, AMC, come sponsor us.
Yeah. What did you think of Winnie the Pooh? Because that's the only movie... Well, Winnie the Pooh and Winnie the Pooh 2 are the only, like, Poohniverse movies out right now.
I was going to say, I loved it. Because in a lot of the horror movies that, you know, we've seen, the protagonist always... You know, they always win. The girl always gets away.
Yeah.
They always kill the creature. But in this one, it's like Winnie the Pooh is back for revenge. She's that girl. She's here to do a job. She's here to finish a job. And yeah.
I there were things about the movie that I for sure like appreciated. Like obviously like it's a low budget like indie horror movie, which like I'll always show up to support. Like I didn't super mind having to pay for it even though we have a Regal membership because like you know, I would much rather spend money on like an indie project than some big multi-million dollar like Blumhouse piece of
I
trash.
knew you were going to say Blumhouse.
Yeah, like I'll stay saying it. But I mean, was the script good? No. Were the effects good? No. Was the acting good? No.
It's Winnie the Pooh, so,
Yeah.
you know.
You can't really, but that's the thing though. You can't really expect much. Like the people making this Pooniverse with Peter Pan and Bambi and all that, like they know what they're doing. Like they're not making like A24 level movies. They're making schlock and they're happy with that. So, you know, if they're happy with that, good for them. I'll still watch it.
No, I will too. I agree. And I like how the branding is consistent. I'm excited to see Peter Pan because this is the first, like, not creature.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see because, like,
Yeah.
how will they? Because Peter Pan's a little boy, so I'll be interested to see how they make him creepy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So moving on to our next story, Ella Purnell, the lead actress from Amazon's Fallout series, has been cast as the lead in a new horror comedy movie, The Scurry. Purnell will play a park attendant who must use her unique skills and strength to survive a band of killer squirrels. The film follows two pest controllers called to a country park cafe to investigate a routine vermin problem, only for an avalanche of deranged squirrels to descend at nightfall, wreaking mayhem on the staff and visitors in the park. The Scurry is currently being filmed in the UK. No release date given. Okay, your thoughts. What are your thoughts on
I
this?
just hear Brenda in Scary
Brenda.
Movie saying, Cindy, just some scurry shit.
The Scurry. Oh my god.
I...
But yeah, I am honestly pretty excited for this, only because of Ella Purnell. I love Ella Purnell. Are you familiar with her work?
No, but I've heard about the Fallout series that it's been pretty successful so far.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, I love Fallout. I love the show so far. She was also in Yellow Jackets, which I also love. I just think she's great. I'm slowly becoming like an Ella Purnell stan. I think she's pretty great.
But I'm thinking I'm seeing a theme here, like with horror movies. Like first Winnie the Pooh, now killer squirrels.
Yeah.
It's very
It's
woodland.
very camp. Yeah, woodland. For me, the first time I heard this story, my first thought was that it's giving very Cocaine Bear.
Yes.
I think that's the direction that all this. It's very woodland creatures like bears, squirrels. Something's going on in the woods right now.
You know what, Disney, you want to make money, you just scrap that Rachel Ziegler Snow White live action and remake it into a horror movie.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, I actually also heard that they're making like there's a like Cinderella themed horror movie coming out soon, which I do want to see. I saw the trailer for it. It looks awful, but I still want to see it.
That would be fierce, like a glass slipper, like just in blood.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm gonna see it. I'll be honest, the only reason I'm talking about this is because my sister-in-law sent me a screenshot from Twitter and said, like, you have to talk about this. It looks so stupid. I'm like, okay.
We'll watch it.
We'll watch it.
We'll watch it. All right. So this is a local LA event called Pride or Die. It's admission free, and it's happening on Saturday, May 25th from 6 p.m. all the way up to 10:30 p.m. So a little context about the party. Pride or Die is created through this organization called Horror in Color, which lists here as an intersectional community for marginalized voices by founders Ivan Daniel Luna and Pepito Cadena in 2019. And apparently this is their fourth time doing this party. So, you know, they've been doing it for a while. So what's included in this is you'll be treated to a DJ set from their host Succubus, immersive art, health resources from Somos Loud LA, live podcasts including the Black Fat Femme podcast and three brown jotos with some special guests here. Santana from the Boulay Brothers Dragula season 5. And then all additional drag performances, a marketplace of LGBTQIA vendors, um, food from Rice and Barbecue, and mocktails from this place called Beautiful Poisons, and more, all in a haunting atmosphere.
Wow.
I mean, it's. I took a look at the promo video, and it seemed like like a decent like art festival, very focused on very marginalized voices. I know when we went to Midsummer Scream, we found like this creator. She's like a she does like the bedazzled scream tumblers, and she's Latina. I was like trying to find a way to say that, but no, she's based out of Long Beach, and she's so cool. She makes, I forgot what it's called, the Scream Lab, I believe.
Yes,
that's her.
yes.
That's her handle. But so if you want to check out cool vendors like her, this is definitely better than, I'm sorry, that immersive experience that we talked about.
What was
the
it
Black
called?
Unicorn,
Yeah, like,
the high budget, cutting edge.
and you're just bouncing around a balloon.
Yeah, your
Like,
Willy Wonka like Glasgow experience 2.0.
but this event sounds really cool. I'm honestly like surprised that I've never heard of it before because it sounds like they have like a ton of stuff here.
Yeah, and it's free.
Have you ever heard of this before now?
I've never heard of this.
Wow.
But I'll definitely want to check it out.
Yeah,
so
me
we
too.
should.
All right, so moving on to our next story. Roger Corman, the legendary B-movie director, has passed away at the age of 98. Corman passed away on May 9th at his home in Santa Monica, California, while being surrounded by his family. Among the countless features directed by Corman, a great deal were low-budget films that later attracted a cult following, such as Little Shop of Horrors, The Intruder, and X, The Man with X-Ray Eyes. House of Usher became the first of 8 films directed by Corman that were adapted from the tales of Edgar Allan Poe. Corman received an honorary Oscar in 2009 for producing and directing more than 300 films and fostering the careers of Ron Howard, John Sayles, Sylvester Stallone, and James Cameron.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I haven't seen a ton of Roger Corman movies. Like I've seen Piranha, I've seen Little Shop of Horrors, I've seen like one of the Edgar Allan Poe movies, the Pit and the Pendulum. But like this man had directed like 300 movies, so like it'd probably take like years and years to watch all of them. But yeah, the reason I want to talk about this today was because like he was really like such a presence in the horror community for such a long time. Like he like made so many like iconic like schlocky movies. Like that was his thing. Like he made like such like low budget like cheesy horror movies, and he kind of defined like the genre throughout like the 60s and the 70s. So like, and like, yeah, he was just an icon in the community. So it's a sad day to know that he's passed away, but he lived a good life. He lived very long. He was 98. So yeah, rest in peace to Mr. Corman.
Yeah, but his movies will live on forever. And you bring up a good point about him receiving an honorary Oscar for producing and more than 300 films and fostering all these big legends. But I think it kind of segues into the larger discussion of, will horror be taken seriously as a category in the Academy Awards now that, I don't know, like, we've talked about this on the side, but when we started planning for this podcast, it was last year when we noticed there's a weird unusually large number of horror films being released this year. And I think that number is continuing to grow, and you're seeing more A-list actors like Chloe Bailey, just try to segue into this genre too. So, I mean, I would love to know, like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you see it becoming more prestige, like a range of horror films being produced?
Well, first, I think that's a very like nuanced discussion because it's like horror movies have gotten like acclaim in the past before, like Silence of the Lambs won an Oscar, and that's a great horror movie. And Roger Corman, ironically, or like coincidentally, I guess, he makes a cameo in that movie. So like even the filmmakers in that movie understood his presence and his importance. But I do think that horror movies are slowly being taken more seriously. I think because of A24 mostly. I will die on the hill to say that Toni Collette deserved Best Actress for Hereditary. Um, Unfortunately, she didn't, just because like the genre as of today isn't like taken that seriously by the Academy. But I do think we are moving slowly in that direction, and I think, and again, I think largely due to A24 and like the level of quality movies that they put out.
Yeah. But then they also put out like fucking squirrels and Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It's like
One step forward, two steps back.
you know what? It's honestly like when RuPaul. I know that I'm segueing here, but when RuPaul does all his PR work about like this is a drag queen, a superhero that kids can look up to, you know, vote for change and yada yada, and freaking Kim Petras releases Slut Pop Miami.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just the pendulum.
But you know,
Anyway,
queer identity is a
queer
spectrum.
identity.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right. I guess moving on to the next horror news update, Never Let Go, a new movie starring Halle Berry's. The trailer just released. It's by Lionsgate and directed by Alejandro Aja. The story follows a mother and her fraternal twin sons who have protected themselves from a malicious spirit for years under their family's protective bond. However, when one of the boys begins to question the existence of the evil, the bond is broken, leading to a terrifying fight for survival. More to come, premieres September 27. Wow.
Okay.
It looks good.
It does. It's giving me kind of Bird Box vibes.
I was gonna say, yeah.
There's a lot of movies. I mean, I guess it's not really new. A lot of movies taking place in like cabins in the woods. What was that one that came out last year about the gay dads and the four horsemen? Knock at the Cabin.
Yes.
Knock at the Cabin. There's a lot of movies about cabins coming out. And what we just said, a lot of movies taking place in the woods. Something's going on in the woods. But this looks interesting. Halle Berry. Yeah, she looks good.
I mean, do you remember like her in Gothica?
I've never seen Gothica.
I mean, it would be a good one to watch, definitely. Like, I don't know if she's done other horror movies, but I know, like, psychological horror is, like...
Yeah, I've seen her in The Call. That's a good movie.
I haven't seen that one, so...
But I'm excited for this. This looks like a good... I'm curious what the supernatural element is. Like, is it zombies? Is it, like, some vague, like, supernatural villain? I don't know.
Yeah, like, and the concept of the rope. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, it looks very high budget.
It does.
And, you know, excited to see.
Me too. All right, moving on. So, on their wildly entertaining podcast, Midnight Mass, co-hosts Peaches Christ and Michael Verratti serve hardcore adoration of their favorite cult movies and filmmakers. This summer, Peaches Christ and Verratti returned to the Academy Museum in Los Angeles to discuss the 1988 cult classic movie Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, joined by Elvira herself, Cassandra Peterson. And after their conversation, the museum will screen Peterson's personal 35mm print of Elvira, Mistress of the Dark from the Academy Film Archive. So this is an event that the Academy Museum is putting on this summer. I don't know if they still have tickets left, but you can purchase a ticket and go listen to this live recording of Peaches Christ's podcast with Elvira, and then watch the movie with Elvira. I'm very excited about this. If I get a chance to get a ticket, I will definitely be going because, like, obviously, like, I've never been to the Academy Museum, but I've been wanting to go, and this is, like, such a good excuse to finally go to, like, meet, I guess, kind of two of my idols. First, Elvira, and also Peaches Christ. So I'm very excited by this news.
Yeah, I mean, Elvira has been kind of making the rounds.
She has. Ever since she, like, dropped her book, she's been, like, kind of, like, blowing up a little bit in the space.
When she came on the finale of Drag Race.
Yeah.
I was like, surprised, but you know, it was pleasant. You know, it was a
Pleasantly
good.
surprised,
Yeah.
yeah. Like anytime, I'm never gonna argue with seeing more Elvira on my screen.
No.
Did it feel random? Sure. But you know, I'm not arguing
But
with
does
it.
she know her market? Yes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And she and RuPaul are also good friends, so you know, she really does like hanging out with monsters. Um,
That's exciting though.
but yeah, I'm excited.
She hangs out around RuPaul to so that you know she looks beautiful in the
Yeah,
space.
by comparison, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I know he's not gonna dress up, so he's gonna be wigless as a man.
But I'm very excited for this news. We'll see if I go this summer. All right, so we're finished with our news updates for the week. So let's get into this week's episode discussion, which is horror daddies that we would homewreck for. So I feel like if you've seen a bunch of horror movies, you know that like there's always like that dad character in the movie. Like he like moves the family into this haunted house, and then like he's always like the last person to admit that something supernatural is going on. Like the wife is like, "Oh, there's ghosts trying to eat our baby. There's ghosts like trying to claw at me," and he's always just like, "It's the wind. What are you talking about?"
What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's always like the oblivious husband character. And they're always stupid. They're always like stubborn. But some of them are kind of
Are
hot.
hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What does that say about us that like we're willing to excuse stubbornness and stupidity if they're hot daddies?
We are stupid gay men.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, gay men in general. I think like regardless of how intelligent you are, men will always be a weakness.
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately.
Yes.
So today we're going to be talking about some horror daddies that, we just like. They do it for us in the movies, and if we were in like in this world, in like the world of these movies, we might just homewreck for them and steal their man away from the wives and maybe steal the haunted house too. So yeah, my first choice would be Ryan Reynolds as George in the Amityville Horror, the remake. So first of all, like I would say, like generally speaking, I'm not really like attracted to Ryan Reynolds in like any of his other movies. It's this movie specifically because like in this movie he's got like a beard, he's got like big bushy hair, he's very like, like kind of wilderness man looking. And like I don't have you ever seen the Amityville Horror remake?
No.
In this movie, he's like shirtless for like most of it. Like they knew what they were doing when they were making this movie. He's like shirtless and he's oiled up the entire time.
Oh my god. They were
Yeah.
counting the demographics breakdown, and they were like, "Yeah, gay men love horror." Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like the plot of the Amityville Horror is that like this family moves into a haunted house, and the dad kind of gets like possessed a little bit, and the ghosts try to make him like kill the family, and the family has to like basically like snap him out of it before he murders them all with an axe.
Well, the ghost was the gay side piece. Just getting the job done.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
rid of
getting the
and
wife out of the
kids.
picture. Yes. Can't blame him for that. I would definitely homewreck for this version of Ryan Reynolds, for a couple reasons. One, obviously, he's pretty hot in this movie, so that's like number one. But two, like in the movie, like the house, like the Amityville house, like it's a very like famous haunted house. Famous for being like it's the evil house. It's like full of ghosts, but also like it's a 5-bedroom house. And the movie they buy it for like $80K. So like in this economy, I'm just gonna deal with the ghosts.
You're like, hey girl, you wanna split the rent?
Yeah. So I would steal Ryan Reynolds, one because he's hot, two because he's got a big house. Yeah.
And a big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a side note, but like weirdly enough, straight guys find Ryan Reynolds hot. Like that's their man celebrity crush if they were to go gay.
It's always men like it like that though, like the Marvel men, like they're hot and they're buff, but they're also like funny, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I don't know if we would find him funny, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's like their idea of like
Of Yeah, no, it's so weird, but like I'm sure you've seen those cut or Jubilee or BuzzFeed videos where straight men would be like, if I had a man celebrity crush, it would be Ryan Reynolds. I don't know.
Yeah,
I yeah.
I think Deadpool awakened a lot of things for formerly straight men. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on.
Moving on. So my first one is Sok-woo from Train to Busan, portrayed by Kong Yoo. I put parenthesis here so I can pronounce it properly because Korean names really like trip me up. But this actor also don't
What?
you were gonna
What?
play the tempor. Ma'am.
Don't cancel me.
I was like, do you know May is AAPI month?
That's why I'm friends with you.
Oh, yes. Thank you for your service.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We need an HR department over here. But yes, this actor also stars in Squid Game. He's the hot businessman. But moving back to Train to Busan, in this movie, did you watch Train to Busan, by the way?
I've seen parts of it.
Okay. Well, I would just look at the parts with him because he's like actually really hot. Like,
Okay.
Have you seen a picture?
I think I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Well,
He's the one with the daughter.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in the movie, Sok-woo has a tense relationship with his ex-wife regarding sharing custody of their daughter. Sorry.
That's a plus right there.
Mm-hmm. He tries to be present physically, but is mentally absent, as we see he's gifted his daughter the same gift, like from the previous birthday. He's trying. And then obviously the daughter mentions she's closer to the mother. As horrific events unfold, his main focus is keeping his daughter and himself alive. So I would Homewreck for him. First off, leave the daughter to the zombies. Like, I'm sorry, but like, okay, maybe I'm not a good parent. Insert me being Kelly from The View saying, no, that's not what I meant.
Oh, that's no. In the sense that you know what I mean.
I'll say it. I don't like children. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But
okay.
yes, he is rich. He is a provider. He was providing for his daughter, for his family. I mean, there's a reason why the wife wants to share custody because she can't afford it on her own.
Oh, okay. You don't need to
I'm
tear
gonna
down.
her.
Fight her outside the Wendy's parking lot like all the other side pieces.
Like she's hating on her man. He tries to be present. He tries. Nobody's perfect. At least he's trying. Better than some people's dads, just not showing up at all.
It only took us a few minutes to get into the daddy issues thing, didn't it?
This topic triggered me. But adding to the list, he is athletic. He can fight zombies in a full-on suit. Okay, and then that last 24 minutes of the film, he kind of has his character arc, and he sacrifices himself for his daughter, and like, it looked like a Father's Day, like, get your daughter this like locket commercial or whatever. I don't know.
Speaking of that though, that's also like kind of a trend with the dads in these movies though. They always have to make like some kind of ultimate sacrifice.
Like hero montage.
Yeah.
And it cuts to like scenes from the kid's birth or something.
Yeah, like Patrick Wilson does it in the Insidious movies. The dad in not Infinity Pool, Night Swim, he had to die. A lot of these dads end up dying.
It's like that's the sacrifice.
Yeah, I guess that's the only it's like that commentary, like the dad is like shitty when he's a dad, so so the only way he can redeem himself is to die.
Yeah,
it's like,
and
we kind of expect the bare minimum from these dads, huh?
So, and if I were to be the wife, I'd be like, I fucking told you so from the beginning, and look, now you have to die.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh well.
Men. But yes, and then I just want to point out that like obviously we need more leading Asian men in horror movies.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I would love to see it. Daniel Day Kim. Where are you?
All right. Well, moving on from that, my next choice for who to homewreck in a horror movie would be Winston Duke as Gabe in Us. You've seen Us,
I
right?
have.
Yeah. So Winston Duke, like, he's really hot. Like, I'm just gonna say it. Like, he's one of my like crushes. He's up there. He's like 6'5". He's a big guy, and that like, I'm not gonna. I'm not.
It's okay. Andrew, cover your ears.
Andrew's taller than me. He knows this. But yeah, like he's just there's something about him in this movie that's like very it's just very hot. He plays like the dorky dad role, but he does it in like kind of a hot way.
Oh yeah.
Cuz like his
muscles.
he is. He's very muscular, but like I don't know, like it's just like if there was any like dad in a horror movie that like embodies like DILF energy, it's him cuz he's kind of dorky, like he embarrasses his family like all the time, but he's very good looking. He's very attractive. Do you know like when was the last time you've seen Us?
It's been a while.
Do you remember that scene where like Lupita Nyong'o is like they're in the cabin and it's like nighttime and she knows like the twins are gonna start coming after people and she's like something's gonna happen, like I feel something, and like Winston Duke is just like over in the bed waiting for her to come have sex with him and he's just like in his boxers and he's like, oh shit, like don't worry about it, like come over here, like
I'll protect you.
Yeah, but like that's such a hot scene though. Like he's just laying in the bed in his boxers and he's such a big guy, he like takes up the whole bed. It's like that's a very hot scene to me.
Need some water. He's like, it's funny because like in the picture that I saw, he was like holding a bat, right, or something.
Yeah, he does pick up a bat at one point in the movie.
You don't need that bat.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
But no, okay. This sounds kind of bad, but there was a still that I saw of him, and he vaguely looked like the guy who plays Medea. Tyler Perry. He kind of looked like Tyler Perry with the glasses.
I could see it, I guess, if he like cut his hair short and like put on the gray wig and put on a floral print dress. Yeah, he could play like a young Medea. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Tyler Perry, get on it.
But the tucking would not be there because it would just be like whoop, in her like dress.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
just like whoop. Anyway, sorry.
But anyway, now I go back and forth on whether I would like homewreck for Gabe in the movie because like it'd be pretty easy to do. Well, it'd be kind of easy to do because like it's a like apocalypse scenario, so like he needs someone to like.
I mean, that's not even the real wife anyway.
Yeah, like I mean, he did marry her though, so that is technically his wife. Is just like she's the she's the evil one. She's like the alternate. But like that's the thing though. Like if I try to homewreck him, I'm gonna have Lupita Nyong'o on my ass, like trying to fight me. She's gonna like handcuff me to the bed and like try to like do her dance like montage in the like underground with all the rabbits. I don't know if I'm prepared for that. But for Winston Duke, I'm willing to try.
You try. Mm-hmm. And if anything, you get the alternate you to help you do it.
But then I'm gonna have to fight him too, or maybe we'll just have a threesome.
Okay, this is like a challenge battle. You fight Lupita first with alternate Robert, and then you fight each other.
Okay.
For him.
Okay.
May the best woman win.
All right.
I guess my next one is Louis Creed from Pet Sematary, played by Dale Midkiff. When I first saw this movie, that's the first thing I could think of. I was like, is this movie gonna be kind of like dry? Because I never know with like Stephen King's adaptation, movies. But no, I was pleasantly surprised and stayed because he was so hot. But just a little backstory, right? I mean, for like our listeners, the Creed family moved to Maine from Chicago, and later in the story, later in the story, his daughter's cat, Winston Church, was run over, and Lewis ends up resurrecting the cat by using the burial ground, beyond Pet Cemetery. Sometime later, his son dies, and he actually digs up his son's body and resurrects him despite warnings. Caring father, first off. So I would home wreck for him because, you know, what kind of psycho? First off, the things you would do for love.
Okay. If that's what you consider love.
He is open-minded, using alternate forms of therapy to prolong, you know, life on Earth. He's trying. Slight attachment issues, but, you know, who doesn't have attachment issues? Loyal and will bring the wife back from the dead. Mm-hmm. Again, also hot. And then there's that bathtub scene where the cat throws the dead rat into the water. I'm the cat, just like watching him. But it's funny because it's like the possessed cat, the demon cat. Like watch, it's so funny that scene. It starts off with like, it's very calm, and then he starts like taking off his clothes and getting into the water, and then like puts a towel over his face, and then all of a sudden like a fucking rat plops in the water, and he takes off the towel and sees the cat going, me. Oh.
Okay, so, but like if you tried to home wreck for him though, you're gonna have to like face off against like the zombie kid, the zombie cat, the zombie wife. Do you think you're capable of taking on all these like zombies?
You know, maybe. If I die, I'm just gonna have to get resurrected in the burial ground and then try again.
That's the thing though. Like even if you do die, like he'd probably like try to resurrect you too, and then you can be with him forever.
Well, you know what? If that's the case, I'm willing to work out an arrangement with the wife and kids and cat to see if I can be included.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on from that, my next one is Hiroyuki Sanada as Ryuji from Ring, the original Ring. So like obviously I think we all know the story of the Ring. It's like this evil videotape. You put it in, and 7 days later, like Little Miss, what's her
Samara.
name? No, that's the American version.
Oh, yeah.
What was her name? Sadako.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like comes out and tries to kill you 7 days later, and like this reporter tries to get to the bottom of it because like she's stupid. She is stupid though. Like she knows the tape is cursed, but she still wants to like report on it and like save the little girl. It's like, leave her in the fucking well. Leave her in the well. She needs to be in there.
She probably saw Hiroyuki and was like, you know,
I'm gonna get me a piece of that.
Can we make this a thing? Like, do you want to have a feature story?
Well, that's the thing though. She goes to her ex-husband, Ryoji, and tries to ask him for help. And so like right off the bat, this technically wouldn't be home wrecking because they're not really together, but like this ex-wife, she just won't get out of the picture. Like she needs to know, like, this is over. Like, he's my man now.
We'll move on.
Yeah. But like, are you familiar with Hiroyuki Sanada? Because I know he's been in like quite a few things recently in the West. He was in Shogun.
Let me, you know, if he's that hot Japanese guy that was in Bullet Train, yeah. He always plays like the samurai.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I know him from Westworld, where he also played like a samurai character. So that's where I first saw him. But like,
wasn't he? He was also in John Wick, I believe. Was he? No.
I think
the one with Rena.
We saw that one together.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, I fell asleep in the theater. I thought John Wick was so fucking boring. Like,
oh, no.
I'm ready for all the straight guys to roast me. John Wick is boring. I fell asleep in the theater. Sorry.
Oh.
But yeah, like in this movie specifically, I feel like Hiroyuki is like, he's so handsome. Mm-hmm. Like he's so like, not to say like he's not good looking now, but like this was like the 90 mm-hmm. What year was it? 1990, 1998, something like that. And he was just like so handsome when he was younger. Like he's got this like thick head of hair and like this like something about his demeanor. Like he's so like serious about like everything. It's just like, yeah, that picture. Like I don't know. He's just got like this like suave like vibe about him that like I like. Yeah.
This is such a porn actor like
Picture,
headshot
yeah.
with the swoopy hair and the like and the
But that's what I mean.
the
That's
smolder.
that's what I think I really like I found attractive about him in this movie. Like his hair. He's got a good head of hair
I
in this
love
movie.
that hair.
Now would I homewreck for him again? Like it's a toss up because then I'd have to fight Sadako. Which like he's kind of stupid in this movie too because he watches the tape and then he thinks just because they took her body out of the well, he's fine now. And then he ends up getting killed by Sadako. Now, if I were there, I would have been the one to tell him, hey, don't watch this tape. Don't listen to your stupid ass ex-wife. Like,
You know what
move
you should-
on.
You know what you
Move
should
on.
do? You should get that motherfucking tape and throw it down the well and be like, who's gonna watch it now, bitch? Watch your own damn video.
But that's what I mean. But like this wife just won't get out of his life. Like if she had just moved on, if he had just like blocked her number, he'd still be alive. And you know what? I would have been there and I would have been the one to tell him like, it's time to move on. This bitch needs to get her own life.
Yeah.
Like
Try
stay with
something
me.
new.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's that Japanese song that's like coming back. Like, stay with me.
I don't listen to Japanese music.
No, but it's like, oh no, it's a TikTok thing. That's what
Oh,
you're not.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not on TikTok. Sorry.
Yeah, I want to play it, but I don't know if we'll get flagged.
We'll add it in the podcast version.
All right.
But anyways.
And then I guess last on my end is the infamous Josh Lambert from the Insidious movies, played by Patrick Wilson.
I knew you were going to talk about him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm basic. So just a quick recap. The main Insidious franchise storyline revolves around Josh and his family's torment of malignant entities from the further due to his ability to connect to their realm. So, I know, a lot of other people's favorite horror daddies, even freaking old lady Parker Crane can't get enough.
Yeah.
I was like...
You are Parker Crane, though. Like, let's be real here. Like, you would be the creepy gay guy trying to get at him.
Just like in the corner in my little black dress, like. It's like, oh, you're done with softball practice?
Oh.
You want a juice? Do you need some water? But you know, he's so talented. Like
He is.
He can astral project, navigate through otherworldly dimensions. He has a great body. I mean, especially in the Red Door. Like, I could totally see the workout regimen from Aquaman.
Yeah.
Which James Wan is also, kind of has a hand in that. But in the Red Door, that movie brought light to how good Josh was as a father, despite being away. But that was because of the safety of his family. So, he has both that emotional side and the physical side that makes me and a lot of other horror queers want to home wreck for him. I'm sorry, Rose Byrne, but he should have killed y'all in Insidious 2.
Oh.
Parker Crane was doing a gay service. Happy Pride.
Oh, that's no. In the sense that no. You know what I mean?
But we already from the last movie, The Red Door, we already know that their marriage falls apart anyway. So if you came into the picture, it wouldn't take much to separate them for good, Yeah, you'd see this young little Asian boy and be like, yeah, that's what I need now.
He just finds me in the further, and he's like, that's the one.
He's like, I need a midlife crisis. Let me get up with this Asian boy. Yeah. But okay, so if you homewreck for him, you're gonna have to deal with all the ghosts and demons that are constantly trying to get after him.
They are thirsty after him. That's a good point.
Yeah, everyone's thirsty after him. Like the red-faced demon. Who else?
God.
Yeah. And you have to deal with the kids too, because he's got 3 kids. Are you ready to be a parent to 3 kids?
This sounds so messed up, but the oldest son is hot.
Yeah.
Anyway. I,
This shit is about to turn into a men.com video real quick.
you know what? I'm just gonna be Elaine and disappear and appear when I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good meet. I mean,
So you don't want to be like the new husband. You just want to be
No.
like the side piece who comes around every once in a while. No responsibility.
That's fine with me. You know what? When he wants to visit me in the further, he knows where to find me, and then, you know, can spend time with his kids or whatever.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our discussion on horror daddies who we would homewreck for. Thank you guys for listening. We hope you found some kind of entertainment in this thirsty ass, probably borderline disgusting conversation we just had.
So
but
a
thank
regular
you.
gay conversation.
Yeah, you just experienced what it's like to hang out with two annoying gay people for an entire hour. You're welcome.
Dearest patrons and poltergeists, we hope you enjoyed your stay at
Chateau Macabre.
If you would like to see more of our content, you can follow us on Apple Music, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our YouTube channel is at Chateau Macabre, and our Instagram is at Chateau Macabre Podcast. So join us next time at
Chateau Macabre. Bye.
Oh, that's no. In the sense that,
Oh.
no. You know what I mean?
Chateau Macabre is not endorsed by any of the material owners presented during the show. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only.
All names, pictures, sounds, and clips are registered trademarks of their respective trademark and/or copyright holders.